I'm assuming everybody has logged in or signed up for something on the internet. So you go in there, you put in your information, and then you hit submit, you hit login, you hit sign up, your information. What do you think happens to it? And what happens after you log in or after you sign up? Welcome back to the Web Developer Beginner Series. If you're here, you basically gone through the front end part of this series. I've talked to you about what a front end of a full stack web application is, and I've told you how we see what we see on the screen. And I started there because that is what we are used to as users. Now, this part is gonna focus more on the back end, what we don't see as users. And if you're not an engineer, if you're not used to making web applications, this is where it's gonna require you to do a little bit of Pilates. But what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to break it down in an easy to understand, dissectable way for you to understand what really happens behind the scenes. I gave you an analogy of a taco place. I told you that what you see when you walk into a restaurant, you can think about that as a front end of a full stack web application. What you don't see is what I call the back end of a full stack web application. Now, I'm gonna give you an example and I want you to think about it, and I'll come back and break it down. I'm assuming everybody has logged in or signed up for something on the internet. Think about it. When you go and sign up, you see a form. That form, we know that's the front end, right? You go in there, you put in your information, and then you hit submit, you hit login, you hit sign up, your information. What do you think happens to it? And what happens after you log in or after you sign up? Remember, you hit sign up and instantly you see a brand new user interface. Where did that come from? What happened behind the scenes for you to see that? That's what we're about to jump in and talk about for you to see what you see. The back end of a full stack web application, you can think about it as the brains of the whole operation. What we see is coming from somewhere. The data is coming from somewhere, and that is going to be the focus of this next part of our Web Developer Beginner Series. I can't wait to jump into the back end, and I hope that you have as much fun learning about the back end, because without data, there's no application. There's just gonna be some pictures, some buttons, some form that don't mean nothing. The data is what makes a whole application humming. It gives it life. It makes it dynamic. That is the back end, and that's what we're gonna talk about next. Stay tuned. Until next time, peace.